Hey everybody, and welcome back to a Minecraft building tutorial. I'm sure a lot of you guys are really excited about this. It's been gone from the channel for a while, but I'm bringing it back for a special occasion because it's 9 days before Christmas, and I wanted to give you guys an early Christmas gift. So we're making an igloo today, as you probably saw from the title, and as many of you probably also know, Minecraft implemented their own little igloos in a recent update. They're these little derpy little things, these small tiny abominations of what an igloo could be. I mean, they're okay, but we can definitely build a better igloo, and that's kind of what I want to attempt to show you guys today. So in the description, I'm going to leave a link to you guys to go to this one website because there is an easy dome maker. And that's essentially what we want to start with, is just a very large dome. And then we can kind of deck out how we want it to look on the inside and a little bit on the outside. But I essentially did the radius of the circle is 9. So it's about 18 across, 18 wide, however you want to say that. And then the height of it is 10. So if you want to make yours exactly as I made mine, then you can follow those steps like that. But I have this just time-lapsed right now. I'm talking over myself building it. It's a little bit hard to find enough time to record myself building and talking while I'm in college because roommates and all that good stuff. So I just built on my own time, nice and peaceful, good break from finals, and built up my igloo. So we're making it out of snow right now. Something that you can do if you really wanted is replace some of the snow blocks on the outside with blocks like stone brick, packed ice, regular ice. Any of those, if done properly, can make the igloo look like it has a little bit more character to it. I went with straight snow for the outside of the igloo, but then I kind of, I put my own twist on the inside of it, which you'll see in a little bit. But for the outside, I just did simple snow. You don't have to. I kind of wanted it to also be like we're transforming the already made little Minecraft built-in igloo. So I kind of wanted to stick with the similar idea as what I had in there. And that idea was kind of, it looks like a little research station in a way. You always, when you think of Antarctica and inhabiting it, you kind of think of a bunch of research being done, scientific research. So I kind of went with it's kind of a research station approach. And you'll see that I kind of theme around that when we go inside of it. But we're almost going to finish off the top here, and we're going to have our nice dome. I'm going to leave part of the top open because I eventually want to do a little skylight in there, which is going to look very nice. But you can kind of see, here's our basic dome so far. It's very, it's domey. It's not really an igloo yet, and that's kind of what we need to work on right here, is getting the entrance. So is it good enough to do that? No. You need to add a little bit of an entrance coming in, and there's a lot of different things you can do with this entrance. You can kind of see that I bring it out a decent amount just to give it a nice entrance, and then I kind of buff out the sides to make it look less blocky. You want to keep the kind of circular feel to it and add that little bit of extra dimension to make it really look not natural per se, but just a little bit more complex than you may have originally had it. So then on the inside, this is just something you can do. You don't have to do this. I knocked out those sides, and if you're really good with redstone and can hide the wiring really well, what I would recommend doing is making some kind of cool piston door, like I'm kind of demonstrating here, and then I realized that, oh wait, I suck at redstone. So I kind of delete those and make my own twist on the little inside hallway here. But if you can do that, that's something that would look really, really nice with this build. So now working on the inside, I'm going to do a layer of stone brick stairs surrounding the entire base of the place. And a lot of people are probably going to be like, Tyler, that's like the least creative floor you've ever done. And you know what? I can respect you saying that. We are going to fill in the entire thing with stone brick, and then we're going to work around that stone brick, replacing some of the blocks in the future. The problem is we want to fill this igloo with so much that having a very busy floor design is not actually going to look that great for this build. So I went with something simple. The stone brick goes well with the ice. The gray and the white really work well together, and I felt that this was an acceptable thing to do. So now we're working on the researcher's desk, and this is kind of like the main focal point. You're gonna see it as soon as you walk in into the igloo, and it's kind of straight ahead, just kind of looking at you. And I wanted to make it look like he's got enough space to do all of his work, and if he does have a roommate with him, which we're gonna have an extra bed for a roommate, then we kind of want to have enough space where he could possibly sit at the table too, maybe on the end, and get some work done as well inside of the little research station. So this is the initial design. I am going to go in and fix a couple of things in there. For instance, I'm going to add some bookshelves in here right now, and then one of those stairs I'm eventually going to get rid of just because I don't really like how it kind of sloped up. I like the more staggered approach to it. But we're going to do a little bit of detailing on the desk itself. I went with you can see I'm still messing with these bookshelves here. I just didn't really like how they were turning out, but what I end up adding is actually some crafting tables, which can then be used as crafting tables, but I cover them with the design. It's very common for a cabinet. Just add some snow in an item frame, kind of twist it so it looks like a handle, and now it looks like you have a cabinet going on. But I wanted to squeeze the crafting tables in there somewhere because I'm all about functionality when making these builds. I don't just want them to look nice, I want them to be something that you can live in as well. But adding in some detail, we got the book gonna go right into that item frame, kind of just as maybe a notebook that he's been writing in or something. And then I also want to add a computer for him, and I went with a more old style computer. I've made plenty of computers even on video in design videos before, but I went with the big block in the item frame, and then I'm gonna go with a rail as the keyboard, kind of to just show like it's an old, bigger style computer. And a lot of people may not like how that looks, and I can respect that immensely. But we'll add in the mouse, little button on the stairs, nothing too spectacular. And then to top it off, we're just gonna throw down a skull. You know, maybe he's researching, you know, human skeletons or something, so he's got a little thing right there. And then finally, we can just add, you know, flower. Flowers are acceptable, and with flowers, this is something that a lot of people may not realize, but you want to try to stay remotely accurate to the biome that you're in. And I think that the blue flowers do work, as I think you find them in taiga biomes, but like a rose, it's not really gonna work when you're thinking of, you know, Antarctica. So moving on, we're gonna build a little tiny furnace area, and this is kind of what I consider the main heating system of the igloo. So we want it to look kind of extravagant, and I'm gonna go a little bit overboard on it. I'm just adding a little functionality in case you wanted to live in this place. I'm all about the functionality, I already said that, but we're gonna go a little bit overboard. This is gonna be a very bulky furnace, and I've made, you know, some different designed furnaces in the past. Looking back to the cave home video that I made, I had another different furnace in that one as well, but this one's going to be very large. It's going to stretch all over this wall, and I wanted it to look busy, mainly because I wanted it to kind of stand out as a large thing in the area, and I wanted it to look a little techie, like these guys are doing some weird scientific research, and they got this big furnace, and you can imagine that, you know, if there were pipes in vanilla Minecraft, that there would be pipes going everywhere too, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And I like how it ended up looking because it kind of works out. And what we eventually want to do is we want to grab some cobblestone walls, and then we want to bring them up out of the furnace, like it's, you know, how a chimney works in any other house. So we're going to kind of run those up, and then we're going to bring it outside so that we can kind of add the chimney along the outside of it. So then we can add the snow back in and then work on the chimney. And with chimneys, you want to be a little bit careful to not make them just like a straight up bunch of fences or just a tiny little thing. You want it to be somewhat designed. So what I'm doing here is kind of just staggering them up. I got stairs and slabs in there kind of working, and you can kind of see it has an industrial look to it, and that's kind of what I was going for. So then we can just add in some spider webs. This is obviously an old Minecraft trick. Utilize the spider webs to make it look like smoke coming out of a chimney, and we'll just kind of beef that up so that it looks nice and full. And from a distance, you're going to see that that looks pretty okay. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. And then on the inside, obviously, that snow block up top has got to go. And then I'm just going in and I'm changing some of the slabs to be not all cobblestone, but have some be stone brick. Eventually, some will be andesite as well. Kind of just go with the idea that not everything is pristine and one kind. And that's why we will eventually detail the floor as well. But I'm just continuing to beef up the furnace here. A lot of people may not like how this looks. I went with the very busy look. You may not. I think it looks pretty okay. So then our next section is these guys obviously need to have a little bit of storage in their little research place. So we're just going to add a very simple design that I actually used in the cave home. There's a lot of similar aspects to this build as there are in the cave home. And you can kind of do these stacked chests with just a little bit of cobblestone slab on top of them, and then some little supports like they're holding them in place, and it actually looks really, really good. It's very simple. You can store a lot of stuff, and it just works. I really like how it looks. So then for their beds, I went with a bunk bed approach to this, but I still, jury's out on whether or not I actually enjoy how this looks. The functionality of it is a little bit down from what I would normally enjoy, since eventually we do put in a ladder in order to get to the top bunk. But I'm just adding in some cobblestone. I want it to make sure that you can actually place down the bed, and I also want to have it where each bed can kind of have a night table as well, because, you know, when you're thinking of a, you know, hotel room or something, everybody has their own night table in which you can, you know, put your glasses because you were reading late or something. So this is kind of the basic design we go for. It's a little bit staggered going up, and it kind of works in the igloo setup that we got going on here. But I'm gonna move the bed not to there, but to here, and we will throw in some stairs just kind of as a table for this guy. It also then allows us to get some lighting into here, because while it does look bright in the igloo right now, it does become a lot darker when we plug up the hole at the very top. And that is, you know, it's going to be done later, but it was a slight growing problem for me because I was like, how are we going to get enough light in this place for me to be very happy with it? And here I'm struggling to place this damn stair, but all in all, it gets done. So what we eventually do is we got to find places in here where it's acceptable to put a torch. And here's one of those places. I'm going to do the very basic torch in a item frame with an anvil kind of setup, so that it looks like kind of a decorated torch, something you can pull off the wall and, you know, in the middle of your sleep, walk around in the dark and still be able to see stuff kind of torch. And then once again, a little bit of extra decoration. The flowers never hurt anybody. So we'll throw a torch up here as well. The guy can put out the... Oh, I don't put a torch up here. Never mind, we put another flower. What do I know? I'm just here for the ride, man. But we will add the ladder, and this is the only part I don't like. I wish that the cobblestone walls you could climb up, because it doesn't look that great. So then here's my play on the regular vanilla Minecraft igloo carpet setup. I really don't like how the carpet is just one singular color, so that was kind of my way of adding in some carpet here. And then we're basically just doing detail work. The bulk of our igloo is done, and now we just kind of have to make the place look a little bit more ragged, because I highly doubt that an igloo is going to be very, you know, it won't hold up well in harsh wintry conditions. I mean, it's made of snow and ice and stuff like that. So I'm kind of just breaking up some of the ground, making sure that there's some variation going on. You got the slabs, you got the cobblestone, stone, andesite, cracked stone bricks. You just want to get that variation in there so that it doesn't look busy per se, but it just looks like there's a different pattern going on. It's not just a symmetrical all the way around kind of build. I then realized you can actually utilize the furnace as a lighting source in the place as well, so I set up some coal and then put in some beef into the machine to get some extra lighting in there. Torches, we'll also put 2 right here, once again, just more lighting. You don't want stuff to be spawning in the igloo. That's just, you want a livable place, as I always say. And then we add a torch over here as well, possibly so that he can see his work while he's working on it. So then this is a really fun part, adding in some snow around the base, kind of destroying part of the carpet to add in some snow. Obviously, you're going to trek in a decent amount of snow if you're coming into an igloo. So I kind of just stacked it up a little bit so that it looks a little bit like a wintry wonderland as you're walking in. And obviously, you've seen Minecraft snow. That stuff can get pretty crazy, and I wanted to make sure that we got that captured well in this build. So then the outside, I just wanted a little bit of extra detail, to be honest with you. I didn't think that having just like a weird entrance to the igloo was worth it. So I just did a little basic design out front for some slabs to kind of go across and make it look like a little bit of shade in the start. Maybe you could, add a little porch or something if you wanted for the igloo, so that, when the weather's nice, if the weather's ever nice, then the guys can kind of go out there and do that. And I'm just, I'm looking around. It's always good to try out some different stuff, see what works, and I like that a lot. So then we're just going to add a sign, because I'm me, and I add the Antarctica Research Station to this, because, that's what it is to me. So then this is a really fun part. So we're adding in the ceiling. You want to make sure you have a decent balance between regular ice and packed ice, because both have a lot of use in this build, but if you overuse one or the other, it's just not going to look right. So then what we're doing is we're adding in some ice along the inside in the ceiling, and essentially what we're doing is we're creating an opportunity to add icicles in. And it's something that I highlighted in my building tips and tricks video, but you can utilize the stained glass panes to kind of look like icicles in a build like this. And you're going to see it's going to look really nice when we add them in, but we wanted to just make sure that we added the ice around here to start, and you're going to see that it actually adds a lot of detail. So then we got the icicles coming down. They don't look amazing because there's no like smaller than a full block, but not as small as a pane block in the game, but it just adds that little bit extra into our build, and that's going to just about do it. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Obviously, that little block needs to go, but I said that earlier. And then I just play around with that, but I really don't like it. So that's that. This is our igloo. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Remember to come back tomorrow, as there's going to be more Christmas stuff every day. If you really want me to get back into doing some Minecraft building, let me know down below. Give me some ideas. I do still really love playing this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I love building. What can I say? So, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!